Hello, people. It's your boss man back again with another Rival Fan podcast. As always, we're joined by the fantastic panel. If you haven't already, make sure you smash the like. Obviously, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Obviously, Coach has already done it. Thank you very much for the 1K subscribers. To be honest, I don't really know what happened. We needed about 12 more, and then I woke up and we had it. So, whoever made fake accounts, I appreciate it. But yeah, anyways, it is what it is. Obviously, show your love to the boys as well. Their links are down below. My mustache is pissing me off. I need a trim, but it is what it is. So I'm constantly doing that. I don't know what Danny's doing. Probably slacking his off, but it's all good. Anyways, listen. Let's get into the show. As you can see from the title, we're going to be discussing the original Big Six and whether you think any of them should be taken out. But without further ado, let me introduce the panel. First and foremost, we got the homies, Xavi and Iniesta. Three men in midfield. Kojo and Kale, what are you saying, boys?
I'm Iniesta. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Get out there straight away. This is week I'm Iniesta, yeah?
That makes me messy. How you guys doing? I'm good, man. How you doing?
I don't know about that one. Don't know about that one.
You love to see it. You love to see it. Let us know who you think, who's who. Obviously, I'm sure you look at the guy's channel. Who's carrying who? No, I'm joking. Obviously, we got the homie Daniel from Eyes on the Ball TV. What are you saying, bro?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Good to be here, man.
It's good to have you because obviously this time last week you said you're going to be top 4, and you're not.
Yes, he did say that. He did say that.
Yes. And listen, Mr. Top 4, he's still here. He's still there, bro.
He's still clinging on to it.
Get in there, teeth.
We got the homie Lawrence.
Hey, Kay, we'll say it again so you can hear it.
Leaders.
Yeah.
Leaders of the top 4 race. Leaders of the top 4 race. That's right. Yes, still there. We lost and we're still there. Daniel was still going to take that spot. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, yeah, you're going to lose. We're going to beat Man United. We're going to be back up there.
Why is Thingy coming for my curtains? You don't know that this is a trademark.
When I read the first couple of words, I genuinely thought there was an issue with my mic because obviously I was telling you before we come and then he's just.
Am I too loud? Am I too loud?
No. Just obviously, Jamie, thank you, bro. Obviously, you've been man's been here since day one, so I appreciate you, man, for the support. But listen, let's get into it. We're gonna start with Man United, Chelsea. As we said prior to coming on, bit of a dull game. We'll just get it out of the way so we can discuss all the games. I'm going to come from this perspective rather than the game itself because, like I said, it was a bit dead. Kojo, what are your thoughts on the approach? I'll allow you to speak from my United perspective. First of all,
there was a big wake-up call for me, which I think I was always aware of it, but I've never really said it out of my mouth properly. We lack quality, man. Like, badly.
Have you just realised?
No. I knew we lacked quality, but I didn't really deep just how badly we lack quality. Regardless of approach, we're just not we're not levels like at all. Basically, the Premier League right now is Man City and friends. It's basically how like Destiny's Child was, Beyonce and friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just there. Everyone else is just there.
Kelly Rowland
like,
is a bit, man.
That's harsh, bro. Kelly Rowland, isn't it?
Yeah,
Kelly Rowland.
Okay. All right, cool. Sugar babes then. Sugar babes then. There's one there, everyone else is replaceable. Cool.
Yeah.
So no, we're just not good enough, and no matter what we try to do, we lacked quality in the final third. It's that simple. If we try to even create anything of merit, and I would, as a Chelsea, if I was a Chelsea fan, I would be quite worried that we didn't really kill this game off either. I don't think every other team came and really gave anything of merit to talk about. So honestly, little quality, little to talk about. Apart from
we've got Abdullah saying this is live without Pogba, but just kind of the sort of general consensus with the fan. Coach, I'm going to throw you something to what to talk about. Obviously, I tweeted out. You guys know me. I seem to tweet everything wrong at the moment, which is fine. But for once, I said, hey, look, I tweeted it out. Ollians, they hate us basically because we don't agree with some of the stuff that we see on the pitch. The way I see it, right, you can say there's a lack of quality, which there definitely is to an extent, but there's a lack of tactics. There's a quality of tactics. Let me rephrase that. Because obviously he's got tactics, we know he has. Because the pressing was fantastic in the first half, which is we're not seen for a long time. But in terms of any ability to build an attack is completely non-existent. Like, it just seems like there's no idea there from the coaching staff. You could blame Ollie, you could blame his backroom staff. I think it's kind of, the backroom staff is inexperienced. But the tweet I put out was like, the football's been dire this season, basically. I said under Ollie, but I meant this season. And what are your thoughts on that, Coach? Because to me, he's bottled every single big game we've had this season. Got 100. Well, in the league, anyways. Let me rephrase that. In the league.
No, you're right. You're right. What is it? Loads of 0-0s apart from losing 1-0 to Arsenal.
We got five draws.
So 5 draws, and in 2 losses, you conceded 7 goals. Right.
Leave it
So
there, by the way. Don't differentiate. It was 7 goals between Arsenal and Tottenham.
But you scored.
okay, North London lost 7 goals.
There
Okay.
we go.
There you go. Look at you doing something in tandem with Spurs. Isn't that so nice? But no, look, this is what it is.
Look at this comment here from Abdullah. All I'm saying is Lanzini has more goals than Bruno in open play against the top 6.
Bruno has more.
true? Is that true?
Because Bruno's the only one.
We've only scored 1 against the top 6.
Bruno's the only one that scored a goal. No one else has done a thing.
No one
so
else
if you're
has
gonna try
scored
and do
anything.
that on Bruno, as much as
Wasn't
I
that a
can
penalty as well?
Yeah, it definitely was.
It's a fan against Spurs.
yeah, it's playing against Spurs, yeah. So
Classic,
but that's what I'm saying. People are trying to put down Bruno. I'm like, okay, that
Do you
means.
see the way, can I just say, do you see the way they moved the goalpost now? I know it's not defending it. Man said league because we slapped Liverpool in the FA Cup 3-2 and Bruno obviously.
We did.
They moved the goalpost nicely, but obviously
No, but honestly,
that's the biggest rivals, man.
apart from but people try to put down Bruno. I'm like, so that basically means apart from Bruno Fernandes, no one else in the Man United team has done the thing against top 6.
Yeah, shocking.
Okay, so it works for everyone, but the quality of tactics is very simple for United. We know when it comes to big games, counter attack is all they know. That's literally all they do.
They can't even do that.
And they're not even doing that right. So apart from that, what do they bring to the table? Man United control games, they can't do it without Pogba in the midfield because no one else knows how to hold the ball and play passes like him in that midfield team. It's that simple. It's literally that simple.
But we have got someone, Kojo.
I mean, I do want to mention him, but I'm quite freaking going to waste everyone's time if I talk about him because he's still got less minutes than Van Dijk this season. I'm going to keep saying that until he actually goes past him. So, apart from that, what have we got to talk about in that Man United team? Absolutely nothing. There were nothing to talk about.
I think when I mean, me and Darren spoke about it on the episode yesterday, and like I keep saying, innit, I think there's a difference between being a good manager or a good coach and whatnot and being someone who can take you to the league, innit? When you look at all the managers who've won the league, I don't know who managed Blackburn back in the day, but
Kenny Dalglish.
Dalglish, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Who is a great coach as well. So you have Kenny Dalglish, who's probably the worst of the bunch. Then you have Claudio Ranieri, you have Carlo Ancelotti, you have Sir Alex, you have Pep, you have Wenger, you have I think that's it. Jose. So these are upper echelon, like top level managers. So if the United faithful is saying Ollie isn't the guy who's going to win us the league,
the United faithful are saying that.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But when you say he's not a good coach, I disagree with that. I have to disagree with that. And the reason why I say that is because Ollie was brought in to do something at Man United. Has he not done that? If that makes sense.
There's a difference between a manager and a coach, and he's not.
No. I get that, but every manager works in different ways. Just like Sir Alex had deficiencies, Rio has even come out and said he disagreed with a lot of the tactics Alex Ferguson had. Alex Ferguson, even in his book, wrote that his players made it easy for him to do or set up in a certain way because they were quality players. Do you know what I'm saying? So my thing is, when I look at it like now, with the team that played yesterday, both teams, in fact, this is not Chelsea are not excluded from this. It doesn't matter how much we spent. Like, both teams lack quality when it comes to the final third. I personally didn't think it was one of them dead 0-0 games. I thought the passing from defense to midfield was qualities sometimes. I know there were breakdowns, and I know United fans were complaining about Fred McTominay. Bruno was a bit lackadaisical as well, but there were moments where you thought, "Oh, do you know what? This is a good passage of play." It's just when it got to the final third that things began to break down. Personally, for me, like
Pitiless, but yeah.
Personally, for me, when I look at Chelsea, my biggest takeaway is that I fully believe this. I honestly believe we're an attack away from competing, like competing effectively. Because I think Tuchel has got the basics right in terms of how to set up a team where you have mediocre defenders, but you can put them. You know, when you got mediocre defenders, you can slot into your system but still perform. Like Christensen, he had 100% pass rate, won all his duels, 100% of his duels, and Christensen ain't that good. Like I've never really liked him.
I don't think he had a test yesterday, whenever the day it was.
Yeah,
I mean, saying that you can only face what's in front of you, in my opinion. Look, at the end of the day,
the Atletico Madrid one, I'll give him credit for that. But against Man United, we offered absolutely nothing. Really.
My thing is, what I would say to that is that, look, at the end of the day, you can only face what's in front of you. You can't. Like Bruno Fernandes is still a top quality player in the league. Rashford is still a good striker in the league. Greenwood is a threat on his day. So you've got to just face what's in front of you. Do you know what I'm saying? I think for me, like when you look at Chelsea and United on the trajectory they're going in, I just think that I see more direction with Chelsea. It might be biased. It might come across biased.
That is very much biased because you said this on the
fair enough.
And you saw what happened out there. You say building blocks on the Lampard, so I told you the guy's a fraud from day dot.
But do you think Tuchel's a fraud? Though?
I don't think Tuchel's a fraud. We are going to come on to Tuchel, so I agree with some of it, but I just think it's too early to sort of basically pass any judgment on him. Listen, Lawrence, I want to ask you a question actually. As you know, you've got a set of fans that basically did rate Haller, Sebastian Haller. Obviously, you used to defend him a lot. I kind of find myself in that situation with Martial at the moment. Of course, Martial does deserve more criticism than Haller. I will throw that out first and foremost. But Martial didn't play yesterday, right? I know he came off for 10 minutes, but I'm not even counting it. He didn't play yesterday, and we still look toothless up front. And I said to Kojo, I said to the guys in the chat, again, I'm not saying Martial doesn't deserve blame and criticism because he definitely doesn't help himself. I'm not saying he doesn't. But surely yesterday's showcase is a bigger issue than Martial at the club. We're not creating any chances. We're not really providing anything for the striker. The system, whatever reason, it's not allowing the striker to flourish. Cavani's not really had many chances. He's done brilliant because he's a quality player, but he's not had many chances. Do you not feel like, obviously, Haller was the same thing? He was just getting scapegoated when you weren't playing well or whatever. Do you feel like Martial potentially could fall in that category, or do you think it's just ridiculous?
I mean, to a degree, yeah, because, I mean, look, once fans, decide that player is the person that is responsible or holding them back or something, it only takes a few times where that player starts to get that heavy criticism and then they become the scapegoat week after week. Do you know what I mean? It's the similar thing like Arsenal with, say, like a Bellerin or a Louise or whatever. If they, in a sort of degree, like if it's like if that team loses, people will focus on this player. Do you know what I mean? Even if necessarily that player weren't the reason for the loss. I think Martial is probably low on confidence overall. There's definitely some sort of issue there going on. I keep thinking about the Martial song, Tony Marshall came from it. So it seems like it's 50 million down the drain.
Said he had no chance.
You guys were singing that, with your chest.
I'll still sing it because he's delivered 2 trophies and scored in key moments for us. So I'm happy with that. So it's all good.
So you want to say 50 million down the drain?
He scored in the semi-final against Everton, didn't he? Who got into that final?
Usmaan, you're reaching, man. Martial should be much better than what he is. You're reaching, man. So what? Am I going to say Fernando Torres is a success because he scored against Barcelona in the semi-finals of the Champions League?
Well, if that was me, I would say success. But it's not 50 million down the drain.
You rattled him, bro. You rattled him.
Come on, Usmaan. Come on, Usmaan. You're better than this, man.
Nah, listen. It's not like we got 90 million habits on the bench. That's what you call that.
Oh, see, deflecting. This is what Usmaan does. When he's wrong. This is what he does when he's wrong. He does when he's wrong.
Martial hasn't been a flop. I'm not hearing that. He's not doing well this season, but he's not been a flop. That's outlandish.
How's he not been a flop in your opinion, though?
How has he been a flop? That's proper. Like, he's not doing well this season, and he's probably not lived up to the expectation. But
his best season was last season, though, wasn't it?
And even
Exactly.
and even last season, though, people were saying it was the goals hid the performances. I heard so many United fans say he wasn't
No,
playing
it's
He
well.
had so many more
if
chances
it's the
to
other way
tuck away
around, man,
chances to score more goals.
the amount
When
of goals he did last season, what wasn't getting.
when there was no Usman, you can agree with me. There was no like division in the fan base on Martial's performances. When he had that first season when he came, that January to summer stretch, where I think it was January to summer anyway, under Van Gaal, no one was saying there's a problem with Martial. There's a reason why he had the Ballon d'Or clause in his contract. You don't just give that to anyone. Like, and I genuinely believe he deserved to have that.
If Martial's flop, that word's get banded about too easily.
Usman, what do you think?
Not flop, underachieved, underwhelming.
You could potentially say that. I'll give you that.
What is it? What's the problem then? Because obviously, like with Ale, like I looked at that and you think I was thinking he needs someone with him. It's the system. What is the problem? What's holding him back? Does he just need a move? Or does he need a player? Does he need a system change?
Potentially. But this is what I said to Kojo. And he's like, look, I understand he's not helped himself. I'm not going to see him defend himself. I'm just going to put this on the wrong comment here. Someone's put, I've never seen an Asian man blush so much. I get it from my mum, man. She's always got red cheeks. So, yeah, it is what it is. That's just crap. But listen, just regarding Martial again, I said this to Kojo. The way I see it is, right, we're not scoring enough team goals. Last season, if you go through Martial's assists and his goals, etc., a lot of the goals were because Rashford's right next to him. He's playing the 1-2 with Rashford, and he's in close proximity to him. If you actually look at Martial's goals last season, most of which he has someone to play off, and like Bruno was stood next, quite close to him, linking off him. And this is we haven't been playing through the 9. We've been playing down the wings, we're relying on the wingers. Obviously, Bruno gets the ball. We play down the wing, we try to get across in, etc. And we haven't really played to him to the way we did last season. The front three has not been fluid. The Greenwood's suffering as well because of it. Like, it's not the same. And there's so many, like, the statistics, even this, obviously I don't look at stats, but a lot of our goals last season was Rashford, Greenwood, Martial, and they were all setting each other up.
But Usman,
barely created any chances for each other.
The problem is when you look at someone like Martial, who spent now like 4 seasons in the league. I went out during lockdown, and a lot of these guys deceived us in lockdown. Pulisic involved. When Martial was going on this run of form where he was looking like a serious gunman, I went out on a limb for him, and I said, do you know what? He's going to be top 3 strikers in the league. I said already he's better than Jimenez. If I told you that Jimenez has played like half the games he's played and they're still on the same amount of Premier League goals, would you even believe me?
Yeah,
like it's crazy.
This starts this season on absolute embarrassment. But you can make the case for Bobby Firmino, who's meant to be one. Apparently, Henry has to go into the left wing for him. So no.
But we knew that for a while. That's what I'm saying. We knew that. Of course, people are starting to see it now. My point is with Martial, don't deflect it. Just look at Martial and the performances that he's shown
I'm telling you
last year and this year.
His performances this season have been nowhere near good enough. The question was, why? What is that down to? Of course, a lot of it is down to his mentality. I've got to throw that out there first and foremost. He seems mentally weak, which is a major issue. But in terms of the way we played, and again, people can say might not have scored the most goals, but if you actually look at our sort of share of goals, it's literally Rashford and Bruno who's scoring all the goals. Like there's not like an equal share like it was last season, and there's not many patterns of play. Last season, the ball will get played to Martial, he'd link it to Rashford, run off him, or link it to Greenwood, run off him. How often do we see that happening? Rarely this season. And yes, that is down to him as well, but at the same time, it's down to the tactics. They've changed the way we're trying to attack and break teams down, because obviously last season we were struggling to break low block down. So they've tried to change something, and it's affected his game. Like, I come back to Cavani, and I said this to my cousin earlier, how many 1-on-1s has Cavani missed this season? Because someone answered that for me. Because I can't think of more than one. Because he's not had any. And that, if you're telling me a player of his elite movement, let's be real, Cavani's movement is elite, and this guy can't get a 1-on-1 for us.
But how many players in the big 6 get 1-on-1s though? Because that's Werner's biggest thing. Like, he doesn't get 1-on-1s. He's missed sitters. But then when you've looked at how Chelsea play now, I'm talking about now under Tuchel, we're not getting 1-on-1s either. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's the problem with Chelsea as well, then, because it's not.
But it's the same thing with Tottenham. Harry Kane don't really get 1-on-1s, but he creates chances for himself because he's a top quality striker.
Obviously, Harry Kane's up at echelon, and you're talking top 3 in the world, and realistically, yeah. So I don't think it's fair to compare. But look, for me personally, I don't know what it is. I think it's mentality, like. But we'll have to wait and see. But Kay, listen, bringing you in. Speaking of Tuchel, obviously Chelsea fans are gassing him. After I can't remember what day it is. Monday, isn't it? So yesterday's performance, a lot of Chelsea fans, feel begrudged for whatever reason, saying they're the better team, etc., which is completely fine. I don't agree. But Kale, in terms of Tuchel, what are your thoughts on him? Have you been impressed with the way he's sort of settled in, or what are your opinions on that? They
haven't lost yet, so that's a plus. Obviously, the game against Atletico Madrid was once again another big. That's a big scalp. We have to wait and see for the return leg against Stamford Bridge. Right, you won away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the return leg, that's going to be the important one. I don't think Atletico are going to touch Chelsea because we're talking about Premier League. Let's not get into Simeone right here. But yeah, they're playing well. It all comes down to whether or not, like Daniel said, they can start finishing some of the chances that they create. I still hold on to my belief that he won't exactly make a big dent, or he might get the sack. Maybe not this year. No, definitely not this year. Maybe next year. I just don't see him winning a major trophy. I think you're going to get the Borussia Dortmund Tuchel, which like he's doing now, playing very nice football. Especially on the counter, but in the ultimately you won't get to see any silver one.
Wow. Okay, Daniel, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's fair. Like Tuchel, you have to remember, a lot of people are going off the evidence that is available. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think it's very, very fair. I think he does deserve credit for getting PSG to the final of the Champions League, but then he has happened to face one of the best Bayern Munich sides. And you could even make the argument that in that final they should have won, because Neymar and Mbappe had clear-cut chances in that game.
Yeah,
so yeah, his players let him down. And really and truly, this is my point with the Chelsea team now. A lot of it is down to players letting the manager down, and players need to take more responsibility.
We've got a question here, which leads on what you're about to say. What's happened to Ziyech? Because after 2 good crosses, Chelsea fans were acting like he's the next. I don't even know, Hazard, whatever you want, David Beckham, even someone comparing him to Trent. The list is endless. What's happened to Ziyech?
He's just in a bad run of form, really. I think you have to look at what Dirk Kuyt said as well. He said that players from the Eredivisie League are just going to have to take time to settle in. Like, it doesn't happen. Like, there's no example. I think even Did Ruud hit it off from the first? Hit it off from first.
Bergkamp as well. But I think Bergkamp took a few games.
Yeah, but that man's an anomaly, though, man. Look at the caliber of players.
Yeah. Like, a lot of Dirk Kuyt, he did an interview where he listed a number of Eredivisie players who came to the Prem, took ages to settle in, and it either works or it doesn't. Look, at the end of the day, everyone's reason for saying Ziyech should hit the ground running is because he's 27 in his prime, but it doesn't work like that.
We didn't say it. It
doesn't work like that.
Him after a couple of decent crosses. We didn't say shit. Like,
I think you have to. I think look.
The way Chelsea fans were casting him, Daniel, including yourself.
At the end of the day, Usmaan, exactly, and at the end of the day, look, you have to let us be fans. Like there's no point in saying we shouldn't gas a player after performances that we saw, and he looked like the player we had been missing. Look at what United fans were saying about Greenwood, saying he's generational, and this season he can't even get a goal. So it's like you just have to let us be fans in that we still believe in these guys. If next year he's not performing, 30, it wasn't more than 30 mil. It was cheap.
That's nothing.
So if he doesn't bang next season, then cool. Like, it happens. Players don't work out. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But I think players need time.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Obviously, when it's a Man United player, obviously you have that stance, but you don't have that stance. Sorry, but obviously when it's a Chelsea player, you obviously got to take the moral high ground, Daniel. Obviously. I'm just wondering. All right, Lord, let's talk about the penalty decision, because it's kind of the elephant in the room. Obviously, before we move on, and we'll go on to your beloved team. What was your thoughts on the penalty decision? Do you think it was right for your overturn by the referee? Because VAR actually gave it as a pen. The referee decided. I'm sure Kojo is going to talk about it, but the referee decided he didn't want to give it for whatever reason. I'm to say for now, but what did you make of it?
It's a clear penalty. Like, it is a clear penalty. Let's be real. I mean, it's not one of these where you're looking at where is it hitting his arm. It's hit his hand. It's hand. Like, it's fully hand.
That's your position this time.
His hand is there.
Do you know what's
was
mad?
doing
Do you know what's
some-
mad?
I'm a little
Why?
cheaper, bro.
Why?
I'm a little cheaper.
Is that Sterling? Is that Sterling?
Why
He
I'm
was
actually
doing,
annoyed?
like-
Why I'm actually annoyed is because if this was against any other team, you'd be arguing the same stance, and it's not consistent. I'm not even having it because if you're saying that it's not a natural position, he was running and anticipating Greenwood.
What is he running like that for? Like, what
There's
is
a reason. There's a reason why.
Sterling,
There's a
Sterling.
reason why Greenwood's arm was also up. No one's talking about Greenwood's arm
Greenwood's
being
arm
up.
was
but
there
it's still
like
with
that.
They were competing for the ball.
Greenwood's hand wasn't there.
his arm?
They were compete. So every player runs the same.
Bro.
Yeah, but
Greenwood's arm was here. His hand was
shoulder
up.
punch.
If you're going shoulder to shoulder, your hand doesn't come down.
Clearer penalties haven't been given, and that's my point. It's not
But bro,
consistent.
the,
you can't say that this is
the
a
letter
penalty.
of the
That's
law
true.
says that's a penalty.
No, it
That's
doesn't.
not penalty.
No, it doesn't.
How is
The
that?
letter of the law is that the handball needs to be deliberate. That wasn't a deliberate handball.
no, I don't think it needs to be deliberate. It's
does.
if it's in an unnatural position
And you
that
didn't
prevents
know.
a potential goal scoring opportunity.
So did that prevent Did that prevent a goal scoring?
It's in the box, so it's
Two,
altered the course of the ball.
Dan. It's not like Greenwood shot it and then Hudson-Odoi's arm was like this. They were competing for the ball and his arm was like this.
Yeah, okay, but he's used his arm, he's used his hand to help with the competing of the ball.
Compared to his arm.
Look at where his hand is, bro.
You lot are boying it. You lot are boying
Actually,
it.
look at them,
Why
but
would they-
Why are we playing it? I don't understand.
You are. Because
Why?
if you honestly believe that's a penalty, then football's in the bin.
Bro, I
Football's
don't.
absolutely
No.
in the bin. In
By
the
the
bin.
letter of the law,
By the
it's
letter of the law, it's
stupid, but it's a pen.
Alright then.
But like, and this is what I'm saying. You want to talk about consistency, yeah? When in our Man United game, the free kick that was given against Sofal, yeah, was the ball got blasted against his arm, yeah, that was here, right? And that was given a free kick that eventually led to a goal. So then the next time we're seeing this situation, which is much more blatant than the Sofal one, and actually prevents
Dan,
potentially.
if you want to give examples, Maguire, Full Nelson, Aspilicueta in the box, and we didn't get a penalty.
No, but we're talking about handball.
That was
though.
a penalty
We're
as
talking
well.
about handball.
I'm not disputing. Yes,
was
of
a
course.
pen. That
But
was a
what I'm
pen.
saying is, in terms of what has been given by officiate, like people who have been refereeing, there hasn't been consistency. So you can't then say that this is a pen based on the other decisions that have happened.
Because
You
Kojo
can't.
will tell you why.
But
Kojo, tell me why.
I didn't. You know what? That's crazy. The crazy thing is, I didn't even bring other decisions. You talking about whether the other decisions were good or not?
I only brought other decisions because Dan was trying to use an example.
But this in isolation for me is a penalty all day long. I understand what you're saying about arms. They're tussling. Yes, Greenwood's arm is up. His arm is up, exactly. Except Greenwood's hand is down here. His hand is up here. Your hand does not need to be up here where you're tossing for a ball in the air. I compared it to. I was looking at the one that West Brom conceded. I forgot the guy's name. I don't know the guy's name when he was also jumping for the ball, but his arm is up here. You're jumping for the ball. I understand. But when your arm's up here and it hits here, it's a penalty all day long, whether it's intentional or not. That's a bruv. Your ears here. Like I said in my pod, it looks like his hand is there, like he just said yes to a proposal. You know what I mean?
Put a ring on there.
Put a ring on it. But it's a penalty all day
The
long.
referee admitted it's a penalty. That's what I was going to get at, Daniel. The referee, if you haven't seen the call,
You weren't on the pitch. You don't know for sure.
No. The referee's admitted it. So
Where did the referee admit that?
because it's come out.
Where?
Because
I'm going to Google.
Google it, please. Please, just show me. I've not seen it. I'm not arguing. I've just not seen it.
So basically, what happened is after the game, Luke Shaw said in his post-match interview, the referee, he heard the referee say that I didn't want to give us a penalty. I overturned it to stop controversy. So what that means is basically he was having his own best interest at heart. He didn't give a shit by decision. VAR gave the penalty, by the way.
That doesn't mean anything, though. By the way, if VAR gives it.
Okay, but he overturned it, right? And by the letter of the law, if Luke Shaw is making a claim about a referee that is false, he has to get a ban. So the reports this morning were Luke Shaw's going to get a ban, right? And they asked Maguire to quote on it. Maguire said, Luke Shaw must have made a mistake. He must not.
Yeah, so that's more of an indictment on your captain because your captain didn't come out and back your player.
No, yeah, captain's a fraud, that's why. But anyways, the point being is, FA have dropped the charges, which means it's factual Like the referee did say that because the FA would have had to ban Shaw and fine him because that's the letter of the law. So that means it was factual, and the referee did say that. So it's complete and utter bullshit from the referee's perspective. Did we deserve to win the game? Absolutely not. So I'm not mad about it. Against West Ham, the ball went out of play. We got the goal. We shouldn't have got the goal. That's football. That's not the point I'm making. I don't care about the decision. We didn't deserve it because we didn't deserve to win the game. My point is the referee can't be doing shit like that because it's not about him. It's about doing the right thing by the game because he's irrelevant to the game.
We already know the referee and stuff is corrupt. And
No,
Lee Mason, they said Lee Mason was injured after, and that's why he didn't officiate the next game. So we know it's already corrupt.
Yeah, look,
my point is, look, if you think, I know you're saying letter of the law, but it's the fact that everyone thinks it's so clear cut. It's opinions.
The referee has psychologically or mentally thought about it.
If the referee has done that,
I care about myself.
If the referee has done that, that's fine. But look, the game's a matter of opinion. No. I'm saying the game's the matter of opinions. And if you looked within the studio, it was divided in the studio as well. I don't think it's clear cut as everyone is saying.
The Chelsea fans are saying it's not a pen, and everybody else is.
Hasselbank said it is a pen.
I think, like, based on if you go back to last season, not even judging by this season, I know I'm saying okay, in this game this was given, that was given, right? Because it is a crazy season with decisions. But let's take this season, even the last season or the season before. I think just because of the position of his hand, right, that to me says it's a penalty because it's not in a natural position. That don't look natural to me. Like none of us can figure out what he's trying to do.
Listen, it wasn't even about the pen for me. It was more about the referee. Like I said, we've got lucky with a lot of this in this season. So it's football. It's going to come and swing around of us. It is what it is. Anyways, let's move on to West Ham and Manchester City. Obviously, Man City winning 2-1. The boy Jay Lings, for me, was running riot for about a good 25 minutes. It was Jay Lings Stadium. Obviously, a bit biased. I'm not gonna lie. Lawless, we're gonna pass it to you first and foremost. Just to set it up before we go into it. These men say you don't deserve to be in top 4. You've gone to the best team in the league and arguably deserve to win the game, let alone lose the game. You had clear-cut chances. Obviously, Man City weren't at a scintillating best, but a lot of that was down to your organisation. So, Lawless, pass it to you first and foremost. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you know what? It's one of them. I've heard a lot of Man City fans say that out their whole run, that was their hardest game. That's the hardest game that they've played. And I was really surprised. I was worried that we'd go into it, and like what happened with Arsenal, where they scored a goal and they just chill and just take the absolute piss. But we made them work for it, and it was frustrating. It was frustrating, like to come out of it feeling like frustrated against Man City. Like we could have got something there. We had some really good chances. Antonio hits the post. We didn't have Fabianski was a big miss like before the game. That to me
didn't really need to make a save, did he? First off,
no, he didn't. But that's the thing. The saves, the goals were right at him. Like you know what I mean. Like a world class ball from De Bruyne, who obviously Daniel is a big critic of. He puts in a what? You're his biggest hater. You and Kish are his biggest hater.
That's not true. Because Usmaan even knows.
Don't get him started.
No. Because Usmaan said, and to be fair, anyway, Kojo knows. I've always said I just want him to rise to the occasion. I just want him to be the best player. And
that was a world class ball into the box. The header, looking at that, it was good, but I feel like Fabianski's there's a good chance he can save that because it's caught it, punch it out, whatever. Like it was right
from a far distance, and it's not like it's
it was right at him. So then, and in the same with the Stones one, like the Stones one, I thought our defending for that Stones goal was pretty poor. There way too many touches on challenging in the box, and then it goes but after that, like Randolph had hurt his leg, he'd injured himself. He had to have a kicker because he couldn't even kick the ball out. So our second choice goalkeeper is injured. We had our third choice warming up, but ultimately then we decided to just keep our second choice on, completely injured. And he doesn't really get down to try and save the ball. So I feel like if we had Fabianski on that pitch, we could have got at least a point or maybe 3 because
agrees, man.
That one,
the first one.
Yeah, that's a big loss. You know what I mean? So Yeah, it was one of them, and the last chance, man, at the end with Diop.
Diop.
Like
that would be
man.
Jadon's assist as well, man. That was
like
man.
Diop heads it. I think he's trying to get it in that far corner, and he's trying to head it down. Just goes wide, but Souček,
I know, yeah, Souček.
Throw yourself at the flipping ball, like throw yourself at the ball. But I was happy with how I went out there. Lingard obviously got the assist for Antonio's goal. Another goal for Antonio. That was like just a great bit of build up with Fornals. But Lingard again, like anytime he was moving forward, he was just charging down the pitch.
Man. He was running past people. Yeah. It's good to see him like carrying the ball. I think that's what you guys have missed, man. Without
I think it's a bit of an. Don't you think it's a bit of an indictment on Man United though? A bit that he can perform to these levels. And
I prefer not to speak.
Because you look at that, it's true. You look at that, right? You look at the energy that he gives us, right, in our attack and the way he was. You think surely, like Man United could be doing with that, right?
Why can't he get ahead of Martial?
Oh, Richarlison scored. Fuck's sake!
Hey, Daniel, can you ask that question a bit louder, please?
No, it's true. Why can't Lingard get in ahead of Martial on Martial's current form?
What kind of random? When Lingard was at Man United, he wasn't performing for whatever reason.
He didn't get a chance this season at all.
Yeah, well, I wanted him to start on the right wing, but you know I'm not in charge, am I? So,
do you know what's actually funny? Just last point. Sorry, you know Inter won 3-0, and Lukaku, Darmian, and Sanchez all scored.
Oh, was it?
The thing is, like,
Italian league's dead. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I'm not. If Mkhitaryan's gone there, no one's mentioned Mickey. All I hear about is the Man United players. No one mentions about how good Mkhitaryan's doing. He's actually Man United as well, to be fair. But yeah. So look, at the end of the day, look.
The thing is, you said right wing, but he's been thriving like centrally.
Yeah, but he just prefers Cam. But the thing with him is he just floats anyways for us. He's never really played on the right wing. He just sort of his starting positions there. But okay, listen, what are your thoughts on West Ham? Obviously, you know, we spoke about it last week in terms of all the genuine contenders for that top four. Do you feel like after that performance, they've stated a claim to that at least?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a very good performance against Manchester City. Obviously, their team that's running away with everything. My biggest concern for West Ham, which I said on the podcast earlier, is their next fixtures, which look very, very dire. So I'm gonna get that for you. So they got Leeds next game, which I think they can deal with Leeds, but it all depends on which Leeds turn up, you know. Then they got Man United, then they got Arsenal, then they got Wolves, then they got Leicester, then they got a Newcastle that are struggling, that are fighting for their lives in the Premier League. Then they got Chelsea, then they got Burnley, then they got Everton. That run of games, man, is
the way you said Arsenal with a straight face.
we got Arsenal. We didn't. We beat you.
Don't even bring that. You guys, game we played against you.
Lawless. What was the score? 2 goals to 1, right? 2 goals to 1. So don't try and tell me about Arsenal with a straight face. We beat you.
I think Dan has every right to be confident. It's just when like look at Arsenal yesterday. No one predicted them to beat Leicester. I didn't think they were going to win, and they just came out and won the game.
But let's. I think. Look, obviously we're going to talk about Leicester, but obviously Maddison is a big loss for Leicester. Big.
But they've lost Barnes as well in the same.
Yeah, Barnes as well. No, but this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying this. Look, we could lose any one of those games. We could lose every one of those games, but it's not like the certain games that you look at. Like, but that's what I'm saying. So why are we looking at Arsenal differently to say a Southampton or a Wolves or a Crystal Palace? Like, why are we looking at that fixture? No, but it's like any mid-table side. They're mid-table. We beat Spurs with the world-beating Kane, Son, and Bale trio, like front three. Yeah. So why are we looking at Arsenal like as if it's like we've got Arsenal coming? Like, what are we gonna do? Like, of course, like, look, Arsenal still have some good players, and on their day, you never know what they can do. But I don't think we should be pinpointing
This man's
Arsenal
talking about, like a West Ham side, like they've been top 4 for decades. Like
no, but let's talk about now, yeah. Let's talk about now. We rocked up, we rocked up to the Etihad, yeah, and pushed them to the limit. We didn't let them just, you know what I mean, put their hand on our forehead.
You rocked up to the Emirates, push Arsenal to the limit.
Okay,
you lost.
Okay, but okay, but that's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, cool. We could lose to we could lose to a West Brom or Fulham. It happens. Upsets happen. We saw it. Arsenal beat Leicester. That's an upset this season. Upsets. It is. Is that? Hey, is that not an upset? Is Arsenal beating Leicester not an upset? I know. Is it? Is it not an upset? Daniel said that he didn't think.
Wash your hands of that question.
Daniel said that he thought Leicester would win. That's an up. If you're expecting that team, I mean, we're gonna 2-0
Leicester, didn't you, Daniel?
Yeah.
I mean, no, sorry, Kale, sorry, you said 2-0 Leicester, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I said 4-0 Leicester.
You said 4-0 Leicester.
Oh, I said 2-1 Arsenal. I said 2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, look, obviously, it has got a valid point. There are some difficult games in there, right? And this is what I'm saying. Like, on form, we're like right up there on form this year. Do you know what I mean? Like, so there's no reason why we can't go to them teams and get.
That was a different West Ham that lost to Arsenal at the start of the season.
Yeah, and that was in the run of difficult fixtures as well. And we came out there.
Are you playing in Emirates? Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
yeah, we was playing
we played at Emirates the first game.
Emirates.
Oh, I was about to say, if it was at Emirates, Jay Ling's at Emirates, you know what I won there. You know what I won there.
He lied to back on his dance floor.
I think Dan, what basically the point is that, like, and Leicester are involved in it. Like, when it comes down to, like, the pressure is on and you need to win games.
No,
Dan. When the pressure is on, I think the reason why people aren't taking West Ham seriously is because we want to see it 4 games left in the season and you're still in the running for the top 4. Then the conversation is serious. Like, we need, like, you can't ignore them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. But like at the same time as well, you got to look at form, right? You got to look at form and say, okay, like I said, I'm not going into it. Listen, I'm always going to have a bit of worry and a bit of nerves as a West Ham fan going into games, any game. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, as a neutral, when you're looking at teams and you're thinking, okay, who do I put my money on, right? You can't sit there and say, like, we're going into every one of those games as the underdog. You know what I mean? Like, we've been our consistency has been what has worked for us this season. We have never gone through a serious, like, run of losses. Do you know what I mean? Like, we'll lose and we'll bounce back. Do you know what I mean?
Temporary though, man. I mean, look, if you look at this season in especially in particular, there was a point when Liverpool were in form and everybody expected them to run away with the title. That didn't happen. Then Manchester United were in form. Man United fans expected them to run away with the title. That didn't happen. And now West Ham they're coming up to a run of games which traditionally, if you exclude this season, are very, very difficult. Yes, West Ham's form is they're exceeding expectations, but that was like the middle of the season. Once it gets to February, March, May, I'm missing months, April, May. That's when your form really needs to start to kick in. And a loss like this against Manchester City, even though you did play very well, it could send nerves down the spine of the West Ham.
Do you think, like, I feel like we're coming out of that, like, with more confidence? We're like, geez.
I think they've come out of that lost a lot better than a lot of people give them credit.
Yeah, do you know what?
Because
I feel like
it all comes down to the next game, though, doesn't it?
No, it does. Like, Leeds, and this is the thing as well. Why do people are still looking at Leeds, right? It's so weird, why? Because we look at Leeds as if, like, oh, it's Leeds. Like, we're going into Leeds. Like, I saw Leeds against Aston Villa. They were just a shambles. They're a shambles, and I think Leeds get overrated because
it depends on which Leeds side turns up.
No, but the thing is, Leeds, right? I know what people are saying because there are sometimes they can go and they can just dazzle people. But I think a lot of the time people are starting to figure Leeds out, and I think they've had less of those special performances in recent times than they did earlier in the season when they first came up. Everyone was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" Like, and they're losing. Their defense is shaky as fuck, and I think. And this could come back to bite me, but the way that we set up defensively, how solid we are the You know what I mean? Leeds are the sort of team that we want to face. Like we're primed for Leeds because the way we could deal with Man City's attack, and obviously they go on to score 2 goals against us, but they still found it very difficult. This is Leeds. Leeds aren't even anywhere near Man City's attack, so we can shut them down and go and hit them. And you know what I mean? Like we did it before. So they could beat us, like I said, but I'm just saying there's no reason why we should look at it and go, West Ham's fucked. Like they look at the games. Like it's one of those.
Yeah, obviously, a lot can change in a week. So this time next week, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But
people have been waiting. Like I said, people thought we'd be out the top 4 this weekend.
Certain individual here thought they're gonna be in top 4 and they're not.
I mean, if we're gonna go off quotes that I said you will definitely lose to Man City as well. So like, let's make sure we say all the quotes. Let's use all the quotes. Let's use all the quotes. Let's use all the quotes. No, I said I'm quietly confident. Come on, man. Don't misquote me, man. Don't misquote me. And I said we definitely not lose. I said we definitely not lose.
No, but the thing is as well.
You said you'll be in top 4 confidently. The only way you could have mathematically got there is if you beat us. So you're confident that you're going to beat us.
Did we lose, Usmaan? Did we lose?
No, but you said you're going to get top 4.
Did we lose? Did we lose?
You're not top 4.
That's cool, man.
One more thing, Cahill said, obviously, he talks about like Liverpool, obviously, where they were up there, now they're down here. Spurs obviously had their moment. I don't think. Yeah, I know you didn't want to mention Spurs, but I don't honestly, I feel like we have been like just appropriately consistent. Like we haven't had that period, that short period, like when it's been a couple of months where we was basically. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like there weren't a period where we was just like, storming whatever and then dipped. Like it's literally been a couple wins here, maybe a loss, maybe then a draw, then a couple more wins. Like the consistency has been nice. There's not been a situation where we've just been like, boom, flash in the pan month. Like we're now in March and we have been from flipping August till now, we have been consistent. Do you know what I mean? Like
what you're saying then is you're David Moyes believer, yeah?
Listen, he's making a believer. He's making a believer out of me. I have to give him credit. I can't say anything else. Like the guy rocked, and this is the thing. I thought like he's going to go up to Man City and he's going to completely shit himself, and we're just going to get battered. You know what I mean? But it looks like he's turning the corner. He'd never beat Jose Mourinho before. Beat him obviously the other week against Spurs. So maybe we're seeing a new David Moyes.
Oh,
Mikel Arteta, who's been managing for 2 minutes. Like, listen. Let's
move on to Mikel Arteta. Obviously, we'll talk Spurs as well. But first and foremost, Kojo, coming to you. As Lawrence described, it was an upset. I don't even know where to start with this. Arteta, let's just mention the manager. What are your thoughts on him? Because I'm seeing a lot of positivity around Arsenal at the moment. And I've said this consistently, I will say it again. I don't know why. I still don't. I don't want to be negative. I'm happy you won. I was supporting you and all that good stuff. But I really don't see the fuss about Arteta. I really don't see it. But God, what are your thoughts?
Neither do I. I think might be a realization from the fan base that they finally know where they are. And that's not to say that the teams above them are better. That's not to say the teams above them are better, because they're not better. A lot of teams above them are not actually better than the Arsenal team, but Arsenal there's been like a downfall that's been coming for a while, and because Arteta is still kind of fresh in this management game, it's going to take him time to get something working. But in terms of what they are happy about, they're playing a better brand of football than they have been in previous time during the season. Yeah. Martin Odegaard has slotted into the team quite well. He's fitting in quite nicely. So when Smith Rowe had to come off, went straight into that number 10 role, did his thing, played well. Aubameyang has been scoring a bit recently, got a hat-trick. So he's been looking like he's slowly starting to get bits of himself back in. Even Lacazette, for all how we have destroyed him in the last 2 years in terms of talking about him, this season so far, his goal return is not too bad. Pepe is showing a little.
I said this on the chat with my lads. I'll still take Pepe at Man United, but
for why?
It's not a popular opinion. I just think.
But why?
I honestly think that he, on the right wing, he could still give us something.
That's how I know. That's how I know you are desperate for a right winger, man. I understand. I know.
Listen, I'm telling you, Yarmolenko Lingard swap. If you're just desperate for a right winger,
Listen,
We'll
don't
hook
make
you
me
up.
start the right agenda again. We don't need to start
listen,
getting
Yarmolenko is a better Premier League right winger than Pepe. He's a better right winger than Pepe. He's
yeah,
just
Phil
injury
Jones
prone.
is better than bloody Van Dijk. But
Whoa! Hold up! Wait a
What?
minute. What are you
Wait.
saying? The difference between Yarmolenko and Pepe is Phil Jones and Van Dijk?
yeah,
Are you putting Pepe on the level of Van Dijk?
Listen, Pepe's a baller, man. I'm telling you, just wait for it.
Listen,
Give him
what
time.
he can do a few step overs, big deal. Like,
But no, look,
They're both not great. Let's
They're
just
not-
call it
They're
that.
both not
let's
great,
just call it
but
there.
Not great.
Is
no, look,
Yarmolenko ever fit? Well, bloody hell, but don't worry, my Pepe's gonna come through.
I used to
yeah,
love Yarmolenko, man. Though I used to love
yeah,
him.
he was good, man. He was good. But
Him and Connor Plianka.
Yeah, West-
bro.
West-
remember that goal he scored against you guys?
West
Yeah,
Ham-
nah,
West
yeah,
Ham
I do.
ruined him. Yeah,
no, look, they had a disastrous start to the season. So starting to get positive results here and there will make the fan base happy. I think they're right now what they're trying to do is see what Arteta's trying to do. I cannot tell you what Arteta's trying to do because I still don't see it. But to beat Leicester is a good result. Leicester have been.
it was a good result. I can't.
It's a good result, yeah, and it was convincing as well. It was convincing. Like, it wasn't sort of like it wasn't like a smash and grab. They deserved to win the game, not from start to finish. After they got a bit of composure after they conceded that poor goal. So, look, if I was an Arsenal fan right now, I'll still be mad that we're 10th, but it's a good result. I mean, they don't have to scroll down. They don't have to go into this one and scroll down.
The one that went from 11 to 10, which is an improvement.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big jump. It's a big jump.
So, listen, Cal's
the old West Ham have now done Wenger, and they are,
You are just
the truth.
Yeah,
is,
Cal, don't really allow you to defend your manager. I'm just
the truth is, and if we're being honest, look, in years gone by, any top club would have had the form that Arteta did, he would have got sacked. Simple as. So,
but they're not a top club anymore, are they?
Well, evidently not because he's still there. But listen,
There
Cal
we
will allow you to say your piece. I just want to read this comment out first because he's an Arsenal fan. He's my homie. He's the one who's going to come on, but he's got daddy duties, bless him. Right, when Arsenal lose, Arteta gets murdered like it's all his fault. So when we win, doesn't get any credit. I'm just going to quickly throw my 2 cents in. The reason I'm not giving him any credit, right, is because you're 10th. I expect you to win games. You're Arsenal Football Club. You're not. It just baffles me how low the standards of the fans are. You win a game and your fans are getting happy. Like, you're not meant to win games. Like,
that's what I'm saying. They're becoming Southampton straight.
You've got so many good players in your teams, and you win 1 or 2 games, and your fans are like, "Oh, Arteta's this." But he should be doing that. He's at Arsenal Football Club. You're not a small club, but it seems that the fans' mentality has become very like even with that Benfica win, like your fans, it is what it is. But anyways, Kane, I'll come to you first.
The best European night in the history of Arsenal.
Morgan. What are you on about? Piers Morgan. He tweeted
best European night in the history of Arsenal.
that Benfica team isn't the best team in Portugal, by the way.
Exactly, they're not.
bro, they're in the Europa League.
Yeah. Okay, Kel, what are your thoughts? Obviously, I know you're kind of on the fence to an extent. Do you feel like Arsenal fans are slightly overreacting? It was a good win, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it. Very good win, but how do you feel?
I mean, yeah, that's exactly that. It's a very good win, especially against this Leicester side. But then again, this is why I don't really rate Rodgers like that. It's because how can you get kicked out of Europe and then lose to this Arsenal side all in the same week? It makes no sense. Yes, they have all these injuries and all that, but that's the same excuse that Liverpool fans say, and everybody absolutely hammers them for that. But it is what it is. Arsenal, yeah, cool, good win. That's next week. That's what I got to say. Let's see what happens.
Who you got next week?
I don't know. I think it's
They've got a Europa League game, haven't they?
It's this week. It'll be this week because there's games going on.
There's Premier League in the midweek and then Premier League on the weekend.
No, Europa League's next week.
We got Burnley.
They've got Burnley, yeah.
Burnley away.
So that should be a comfortable win. Should be anyway.
Should be, but Arsenal's track record with Burnley, man. It doesn't always go well. If Tottenham batter Burnley and Arsenal lose to them, I'm Arteta out. Man.
Oh yeah, go.
It's that mid-table battle. Them two North London clubs are pushing each other for that 9th spot. You love to see it. Listen, but listen, let's talk about the other team in North London. Obviously, Kish is in here today. But you know, I have to do him justice. I know what he's gonna say. He's already put in the chat. Gareth Bale is back. Who wants to take this first and foremost? Go on, Coach. Go on. What are you saying?
I would calm down with the whole Gareth Bale's back thing, but
Because he never left.
you know the ones there. Come on. Now, on a level, look. First, he's been there 20 games now. They said on Match of the Day. It's 20 games. First 16, he scored 4 goals. But I think we can all say he had inconsistent minutes. He was off the bench, a few minutes here and there. If he started, he was off after 45. In the last 4 games, he's had a lot more consistent minutes. You can see a lot more of a confident player. He's taking players on again. He's more decisive with his chances. He's not taking 3-4 touches. He's taking 1 touch and then hitting it. He's finding his passes better. The way he found Kane very quickly was exceptional. The range of pass, the way the pass executions is the word, was superb as well. So when it comes to Gareth Bale, any player in football needs confidence. That's it. He's getting a run of games. He's building his confidence. He's starting to feel like his old self. The only thing that he needs to be wary of is injuries. He needs to be well taken care of. If the guy can't play more than 3 games a week, after his 3rd game, give him a rest at midweek. You don't need to play him. You might lose the game, but it's better to have a player that can come back and win you another 5, and then maybe you lose 2 of the others. I will take that. You know what I mean? If I was a Spurs fan. Yeah. So I think it's good for Spurs to have Bale back because they have been struggling with a front 3 balance for a long time, just like us. Yeah. You know, they've had right wingers. They've had Lucas Moura, who is very inconsistent. They've had Bergwijn, who, to be honest, there's nothing to even say about him, to be honest, at this point.
Your boy.
Who's my boy?
Lamella.
I prefer. Let's not go back to those days. I used to like him a lot, and he's let me down badly.
Oh my god, he's
but Bale coming into that front 3 is so key for them because Son and Kane are quality. But if you know Son and Kane are the main dangers, you're going to close those 2 down, and no one else from the other side is going to do something. Bale being part of that is key. Dele Alli's not in form, but he's showing a little bit of more.
Bro, that overhead kick was outrageous, by the way.
His overhead kick was fantastic, but
just think of how poor form he's in to score something like that.
But this is the point. This is the point. Like he's starting to he's making cameo appearances as per usual. But the thing is, even in the game that they just played this weekend, you could see there's a lot more urgency in his game. You can see that he wanted the ball a lot more. He wanted to pass quicker and create, and he found Son well. Son could have scored and made it 5-0. So, look, bit by bit, I think the players that they need are starting to do their things, and Bale needs to be at the front of that because when he's on his game, apart from Kane, who competes with him in that team in terms of quality? I mean, Son is quality, but Son and Bale on their best days, Son and Bale. Yeah. Exactly. So it's Kane and Bale. If Bale gets back to his best and he stays fit, the league's in trouble. Obviously, it's later on now, so they're going to be doing nothing special in the top half of the table. But at the end of the day,
they're only 3 points off West Ham to win the game now.
No, exactly. They can get top 4. I'm not saying about top 4, but you know when they were top 4 all of 5 minutes, if he was fit then they'd feel a lot more confident and their shouts about doing more in the league. So it's good. It's good for them, man. It's good for Bale, man. We've missed watching Bale. I mean, I think Daniel was you that tweeted it. Was you that tweeted it from your podcast Twitter about bring back the days of Bale run out when Bale was doing things like Real Madrid?
You know that Bale. Let me tell you when Bale, was like I know Bale was Bale when he was at Tottenham, but you know that Bale that did what he did to Mark Bartra in the Copa del Rey final, and Cristiano Ronaldo is on the bench screaming like, "Oh my days!" That Bale, if we ever get to see just a hint of that, I actually wouldn't even mind seeing that.
The chaos
no, but look.
KL, I rate you, because you're like me. I would not, if any Liverpool ex let me come back, I don't give a shit. I don't have any of that sentiment towards them lot.
Do you know what it is, Should I tell you what it is with Bale and Tottenham? Look, Mourinho, the mistake Mourinho has made, and I'll continue to say it, I can love Mourinho till the death of me, but the mistake he's made is he didn't show trust in the players that he should have shown trust, a little more faith in. He didn't build a system around the players I believe he should have built his system 100%. Around. And like I mean, he can make the argument of being like, I'd rather defend. But what's the point of losing 1-0 playing the players who aren't even your best players than losing 3-2 when you have the best players on the pitch? At the end of the day, football is about scoring. And that's the mistake these managers nowadays make. Diego Simeone as well. Football is about getting a goal,
Ali's
scoring.
been doing that, hasn't he? And all these big games, he's been too cautious and it's costing us.
And you know what? That's why what I called it with Oli is that the reason why you're second is because of the run of form where let's not forget, away from home, you're still. I know people are saying it's a nonsense thing, but you're unbeaten for over a year. We're
undefeated in 20 away from home. You know,
like you're not a dead team. You're not a dead team if you're able to do that. At the end of the day, so as long as Oli, because in my opinion, look, in my head, Oli's not winning the league title. However, he's the best of the friends right now. Do you know what I'm saying? So he can only do what he's capable of. What's the maximum capacity for Oli? Second. I think it's a board issue. It's not an Oli issue because you're saying
he's reached his ceiling, but we'll save that for another.
No. I agree. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying though, what he can't do anything if that's his capacity, if that's his ceiling. What else do you want him to do?
Yeah, the board, obviously.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because the board have to make the decision.
But Lawrence, I want you to ask you, are you slightly worried about Spurs, in particular Bale, finding somewhat form? Obviously, he might be injured in 2 days, so we don't even know that. But obviously, I'm not wishing he gets injured before someone says it. But in terms of, Spurs, they are on your coattails. Are you slightly worried? Or you? It's just one of them things.
No, I mean, look, this is the thing, right? They've got that game in hand, right? And as much as they're acting like that game in hand is a guaranteed 3 points, that's an extra game that they've got to play. So it's congesting up their fixtures, right? So they've got that. They've got the cup final against Man City, and they've got Europa League on top of that, right? So they've got a lot of games in football. They've gone somewhere. They're going to suffer in some part, right? We've just got our weekly league games to focus on, right? So I'm not super worried. One thing is going to have to suffer. I think the thing is with Bale, the best way they can utilize him is to focus him on the cups, right? Because I feel like he is going to be a key factor in helping them win a trophy this season.
Yeah,
because of his experience. I mean, they're in that Carabao Cup final, and if they can get to that Europa League, like the guy has been instrumental in winning Champions League. Like he has been like the key to winning Champions Leagues for Real Madrid. So he's been there and done it. He's going to be absolutely crucial for them. So that might be this where they decide that's the route they want to go down, right, and focus on that. But he's not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to play him all up in the league, in the Carabao Cup final, and all up in the Europa League. So they're going to have to balance their squad and rotate it enough. And I think that's where they're going to suffer. Do you know what I mean? Because even Kane's fitness, he's had some injuries in the past few seasons. They're going to be able to rinse out Kane in every competition. They're going to have to make a decision on where are we going to play this guy?
They'll be around the Europa League winning. They've got easy.
Usmaan, just last point quickly. Yeah. I think the underlying thing for me is that, look, I honestly, if West Ham were to finish in the top 4 above Chelsea, like, of course, I'm bothered by it. But out of all the other teams that are there, like, I think last week when we were doing the banter stuff, I genuinely want to back West Ham. But when I look at Liverpool are still there, like, Tottenham are still in the run. They're only 6 points behind West Ham. Like, you've got teams that you just have a little. I know form matters.
You just gotta believe in Jay Lincoln.
Yeah, I'm more worried about Liverpool than anyone. That's what I'm more worried about.
100%. Liverpool, because
Jota's coming back. Like he's coming back.
Liverpool's the team that Liverpool realistically will get
100%.
Yeah, but like, I'm much more worried about him. I'm probably more worried about Chelsea than Tottenham. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
I think that's the thing is everyone's sort of looking at Tottenham like they're going to go on a crazy run. But I'll have to see it to believe. And like I said, they've got a lot of football to play, and a lot of these teams have like that'll blow us. Like, I don't know if Chelsea ain't in no cups. So you ain't in no cups.
No. We're in the FA
Champions League.
Oh, you're in the FA Cup. And Champions League as well. Champions League, Liverpool as well.
I think our squad can handle it, though. I think the squad.
These men spent about 4 billion, so they should be right.
there's gonna be a little part, you know what I mean, as it gets as well, because we're getting later into the season where a lot of football's been played. Fatigue is gonna be a thing, like for real.
One day, what I'm gonna do to Usmaan is I'm gonna bring him on my channel just to share screen all the finances in football and look at what Man United have spent.
Yeah.
No, I know.
But how much have you spent compared to us this season? Let's talk about that. And we're leading the top.
Do you know why I'm not having it? Do you know I'm not having it? Hold on. Do you know I'm not having it? Dan needs to one day. Dan needs to one day. Dan needs to one day come out and apologize to all of us. And Dan. And the reason I say that is because at the beginning of the season, Dan was slating his team up and down the place. As in get the clips. We were there, slating it. We were talking about Grady being the key to all of West Ham's hopes. Obviously, I still believe it was a mistake selling him, but Dan was slating West Ham, so he has to apologize because West Ham
that's before we signed a man like Craig Dawson. Yeah.
Context. Listen, what? In terms of business, right? West Ham have done elite.
What are we giving credit to the owners?
No. Moyes.
Obviously, Suchak boxed it off, but Suchak and Koufal, man.
Give Moyes 200 million and like we'll be winning the league. Don't worry.
We'll probably try and buy Fabregas.
For real.
Oh shit!
You'll get Schweinsteiger, Fabregas, Schneider.
We're finally getting Tony Cruz and that, you know. I'm not forgiven for that. I know Conja is not forgiven for that. It's a what a waste, man.
Anything.
Fellaini instead, you know. But listen, we're gonna finish on obviously the topic, the title of the video. Obviously, we won't go into too much detail. In terms of the top six, a lot of people are of late on other platforms have been saying Leicester belong in the top six. Obviously, I want to hear you guys if you think that's the case, and also who you're taking out. So, Kojo, we'll come to you first and foremost. What are your thoughts on that? Leicester belong in there, and if you do agree with that statement, who would you take out?
Okay, so would I put them there ahead of Arsenal? It depends. I mean, Arsenal finished out of the top six for the first. Was it last season for the first time? Oh, then Europa League. Wait, you know,
2 years.
League. So
they finished 8th and won the FA Cup.
Yeah. So that's how they're going to Europa League. That's it. Yes, you're right. And now potentially they're not gonna. I'll say give it. It has to be like 3 seasons of Leicester being in there, and Arsenal not. If Leicester and the other teams, because Tottenham are not, they didn't finish top 6 either. So if Tottenham and Arsenal, for example, are replaced by 2 teams who 3 seasons in a row finish in the top 6 alongside United, Chelsea, City, and Liverpool, then cool, you can make those guys be the top 6 team. Because Spurs, at some point, they forced it, making it a top 6 because when City came in with their money, before top 4 was Chelsea, United, Arsenal, Liverpool. And even Liverpool weren't even finishing consistently top 4 those times as well. But they'll still call the top 4 side. So then I say give it 3 years. But this, at the same time, I have said it for a while. Arsenal, I don't feel like they're coming back for a long time. So it might be time to replace them a bit early. But is it Leicester though? Is it Leicester? Is it Leicester or is it my man them that blow bubbles? I don't know. I'm saying.
Look at Daniel's face. He's disgusted.
Let's not do this.
I know you don't want to respond, but I was literally going to go to Lord and say
the only World Cup winning football team in the league.
West Ham going to be the team to finish the ball with the others to take
West Ham could finish second. They're not in the top 6. But do you know what it is? Do you know what? And this is something that I actually broke down, and I might even write something on it because it's actually interesting. I personally believe all this top 6 nonsense is all BS. Like, there's no such thing like as a top 6. I know they're trying to say the best 6 teams in the league, but I don't even think there's a measure for that.
I think there is a measure for that, and I'll tell you what it is.
I think I know where you're going to go, but in my opinion, look, when you look at Arsenal, what are we judging them by? We're judging them by if they can make the Champions League. They haven't made the Champions League in 5 years, so that's a mark against them. If we look at Tottenham, let's look at the last 20 years. They've only won 1 League Cup. That's a mark against them. If you look at Leicester, they've got a Premier League. I mean, if you want to say whose history is more prevalent, it's whether you factor in the failed Premier League title attempts and the top fours that Tottenham have had against Leicester's one Premier League title and I believe 2 Champions League appearances, couple Europa League appearances here and there as well. Actually, 1 Champions League appearance, sorry, and then a couple of Europa League appearances. So it's about what you value more. But that's the reason why I don't believe there's a top 6. There's only the Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, Man City. Those 4 are set in stone for me personally.
What?
Daniel,
Those are the 4 biggest teams in the league, and that's it.
see, why have we got to make sense out of this? This is for banter. This is for fun. This is got
No. and I get it, but really and truly, what we do in football is when like we're saying Arsenal going to Leicester is an upset. That's a serious indictment against Arsenal. Like if you don't deep that, that's a serious indictment against you that we're saying we don't expect you to go and beat Leicester because we actually believe you're an inferior team to Leicester. This is a fully fit Arsenal and a plagued with injuries Leicester that we're saying we were surprised. That's an indictment. We're saying Arsenal v West Ham is a tight game, and that's because we know what. And it's nothing against West Ham. West Ham are a good side, but it's more against the top 6 side being Arsenal. So we need to really have a discussion about this.
At some point, they'll say, "Oh, can they get into the top 8?" That's when I'm like, just shut up.
These man are coming for your team, man. I won't take that.
No, Kale, yeah, go through, man.
So I'm gonna bring a banter back into it. I'm gonna say only teams that have won a Premier League should be in the top 6. So get that Spurs out of way.
Bro,
So,
that was my exact.
Blackburn.
Blackburn.
Top 7, bro. Shut up.
Wait, okay. Man United, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal,
Leicester,
and Liverpool.
Yeah, that was my exact answer. Why is Spurs in there over Leicester?
Because Spurs have been doing Champions League.
No, but I've told you, it depends on what you value, isn't it?
If you're looking at it sensibly, I agree with Dan. There is no top 6. It's only really come into existence because Tottenham at one point looked like they were going to challenge. Obviously, Liverpool have now won the title. So it all comes down to who's going to challenge for the title that comes into a big 6 in the league. And it hasn't looked like Arsenal for years, hasn't looked like Chelsea for years, hasn't looked like United for years, despite this blip anomaly. You don't have a chance in hell winning this. So realistically, is there only a top 2? Because in the past few years, it's only been Manchester City and Liverpool.
I don't think there's a top 2, Ruff.
No, I disagree that because if you think about it, then like we can't. It shouldn't change every like.
It's based on state.
Yeah, the Liverpool and Man City rivalry has only been 3 years. Let's not get carried away.
Yeah, but City have been dominating before
that.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, no. Conte won his league title. Let's not forget Conte's league title during City's reign of terror.
You remember the decline after as well.
For real, to be honest. But the point is, look, City have been the most consistent club out of all the clubs in the last 10 years now. They've been top 4, like ever presence, really and truly. So they're guaranteed their spot. Then you got Liverpool, who have come of age recently. So what? We're putting them in because they've got their league title now. They have the Champions League. They've put up the cred to be there. Then you look at Man United. Man United, only was it 1 season out of? No, actually, it's been more than 1 season out of the Champions League. Two.
I think.
No, David Moyes.
We don't speak about that guy, but yeah. So Van Gaal's first season. Van Gaal's first season. Mourinho's first season.
Mourinho,
and now Ole.
But this one at least you were in the Champions League. You finished third, didn't it? You finished third.
Ole finished in Champions League after his first 1.5 season. 3/4 of the season.
That was isn't it?
He came in November.
Oh, mad.
So he had a lot of time to qualify for Champions League.
It's free.
It's free, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't remember.
Remember, we lost to Liverpool in November, and then we had to get top 4. But this guy lost to his former club that he got relegated, and Huddersfield.
Oh yeah. No, I remember. Yeah. No, I remember.
Heritage.
It was Cardiff.
Heritage.
And then then you got so Man United are there by it's a bit of default because what your last Premier League title was Alex Ferguson.
Yeah.
Was Alex Ferguson?
Yeah,
That's quite a while ago.
Yeah,
8 years ago, right?
That's quite a while ago now.
Oh, damn, that's long.
And then you've obviously got Chelsea,
Painful.
who've got what 2015 was Conte, I believe it was something like that. So yeah, and then after that, Tottenham. Even the year. Usmaan, even the year Tottenham should have won the league title, supposedly, they ended up finishing third.
For me, it's really straightforward. Tottenham on in there, Leicester are. I'm just throwing that out there.
I don't think Leicester are in it.
How can Leicester be in there before Tottenham?
Because they won the league for me. Like how? Like
They were top 4 1 year.
Yeah. Okay. If they finish above Spurs this year as well, that's £200.
It's not even done yet. It's not even done yet, bro.
They'll finish above Spurs.
No, they'll finish above Spurs, but that'll be 2 times though, or
that'll be 3 times.
Three times.
3 times out of how many?
Yeah, but
so
yeah, but
it's not enough. It's not enough.
Okay. So let's. All right, Usmaan. Why does Arsenal get in there over Tottenham? Just quickly.
Yeah.
Tell me. Why?
Because their last league title was 2003.
No, because they've won FA Cups. They won 2-3 FA Cups.
But that doesn't qualify for top 4.
That doesn't
I know,
mean
but
that.
you said why they're a big team because they've won trophies in the last 6 years.
No, why are they in the top 6 rather than Spurs?
We maintained top 4 for a long period of time. We also maintained top 6 for a long period of time. It's only
It was
only recently that we've been.
But do you know what?
No,
but the thing is, I feel like, look, you know what I mean? They haven't finished in the top 4 for a long time. I don't feel like you should be in the top 6 just because you're finishing within the top 6 of the table. Do you know what I mean? Like, why should we have a top 6 just for people that are finishing in Europa League on a consistent basis? I think the whole top 6 thing needs to just be filled up. It's done. Like, I'm sorry, we're not correct. Because Everton, right? Look at Everton. Everton were considered the top 5. Yeah, you go back to when they were someone, right? Then Villa. They got taken out of it. Villa, you can't keep on history. Do you know what I mean? Keeping teams up there. You're really saying
saying this because you're fault.
No. Do you know what it is? Though? Do you know what it is? I'm actually interested. No, I'm interested in Lawless's perspective because we, as the big clubs, we like. If I ask a Tottenham fan, they will always say, "Yeah, we're in the top 6." Da. But it's like now when we're looking at games, and let's say both teams are coming into it with wins under their belt. If we're still judging it and we're saying there is a clear winner where we're siding with one team, or it's an upset, basically like the Arsenal Leicester that I'm talking about, because Arsenal still have good players. We're saying Aubameyang's world class, and Vardy is maybe questionably world class. So Arsenal are the ones with the talented players, and we're still saying Leicester will win that game convincingly. So for me, we're just compensating for history. We need to stop doing that. Nostalgia is killing us.
Because that's what I'm saying. As a club, like that's like when you look at, for me, the top 6, you should look at them as the top 6 most difficult games of the season. Like they're the teams.
What games are that though? What games are that?
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. If you look at it, that should be like these are the top 6.
You tell us from your perspective then, because obviously as a team, that's
the top 6 most difficult games of the season in your opinion.
Like the teams where you go into and you're like, out of anyone else, that's like I said, like me. You know what I mean? I go into a game more worried about Leicester than I do like Arsenal. Like last season, I'd be more worried about Wolves than I would have Arsenal. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, or even a Spurs to an example. Like, that's what I'm saying. So there shouldn't be.
So basically, changes for the season.
Yeah, we shouldn't be putting like these 6 teams on this pedestal. Do you know what I mean? We keep saying like, this team hasn't got any points against the top 6 or the big 6. It's like, okay, like what does that do? Like having points against these teams gives you extra points than other teams. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like you don't get any extra points for getting a win against Arsenal than you do a win against.
That's why we even said it. Like, look, the top clubs have gotten worse, and the middle ground clubs have gotten better. It's because there's more money in football. No, they have. Let's not lie. They have gotten better. Yeah. Teams can now play football, as in like they can pop teams off the park. Let's go back in the day. We used to say the Villa team that used to play on David Moyes' Everton team, we used to be like, yeah, these are good games because they were representative of the middle ground clubs. After those two clubs, everyone else was terrible. It was shocking. Like you won the league on the big four, like the games against the points you won against the big four.
Man, you asked them when we were playing for the league.
If
you got the points against the opposition,
you won the league.
In your eyes, you won the league, basically.
And the thing is, I feel like that 6 year should all be like swapping in and out of that Champions League. Like, okay, so you've got Tottenham might be getting the top 4 this season, then Arsenal might pip them the next season, and then this team will come in. But if you're like not even competing like there to get into that top 4 and you're just out of it for season after season, and we have to look on you as like, oh, we got a top 6 team because they finished 6th. Like
Cahill, I'm sorry, like let's look at Arsenal. Last season they finished 8th. This season they're in 10th. If you finish out of like not even in the top 6, like if you finish out of the top 6 again for another season, that is something to be looked at. Like we can't just gloss over it. Like do you know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Though, do you know when they make these graphics, or might not, as an example, have not won certain amount of points against the top 6? You know they're gonna do it. They're gonna continue to do it. The point I was making is, which one of them teams, if you're gonna take one out, which do you take out?
Oh, if you had to take one out, I'm taking out Tottenham. I'm taking out Tottenham.
I feel like you should at least be playing like some Champions League football at some point. I feel like going like 5 years or whatever it is about Champions League football, I think that is a bit of an indictment because you're not on the elite stage for that period of time. I know.
But do you know what I factor in though? Your team's capability to win trophies.
Cool. So what happens then if they win the Europa? If Tottenham win the Carabao Cup or Europa League this season, they boom back up in their Arsenal dropout fee.
But that's this. You see my problem now with the top 6. There's so many like, if this happens and then this happens and then it's a little bit, and it's all fine lines. Arsenal and Tottenham are 2 peas in the same pod. Like. That's what it is.
I do think it has to be over a number of years, though. I do agree with Kojo. It can't just be a one season. Because look at Wolves last season. As Lola said, Wolves are a game that a lot of people, including, especially as Man United fans, we couldn't get a win against them at all. For God knows how many games. So we feel playing against them more than we probably did against some other team because they became a bogey team for us. But
I'd be interested though, how many times Leicester finished above Arsenal in the last 5 years. This is what I'm saying.
I feel like Leicester should be there because they're not getting the credit they deserve. Like
it's been like twice though.
Last season they came 5th. This season they come 5th again. Arsenal 7th or whatever.
No, really?
Spurs.
It's been twice.
Yeah.
It's like if they keep coming above them, they surely should overtake it. That's why.
But it has to be.
North London was white all of a sudden.
No, but it has to be. It has to be consistent. Of course, the number of years things. But Leicester have only made the Champions League once and made the Europa. The Champions League once and the Europa League twice. And even in that Europa League, they got knocked out to a team they should have been beaten. Let's not be nice. They should have won that game.
Like Spurs and Arsenal in there, and you're sitting there and going, "Here we go, the big 6, the top 6." This what makes it a bit of a mockery of it. Like, do you know what I mean?
When you see the graphics, it's always going to be the same teams. I feel like.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It makes. I think having those 2 teams in it just makes a whole mockery of the thing. So maybe just make it a top 4 then.
Do we think Arsenal are out of it though? Usmaan, do you think Arsenal are out of it?
I personally think to be honest, I think it's a lot to do with history, obviously, and that's why this is there.
Yeah, but then we might as well talk about Everton. We might as well talk about
but the thing is that's the issue. I think everyone's basing it on history, i.e. club status. That's why Arsenal automatically in there. I wouldn't even question that because I feel that's ridiculous. But if you base it on the last 5 years, which is obviously Cody said 3 years, then you probably can't change.
But then
Leicester haven't finished above them in the last 3 years more than once,
but they're gonna finish
or even the last 5 years. Apart from after the league title season,
it's going to be twice.
Yeah, apart from the league title, obviously first and last season, they finished above Arsenal or Spurs.
The reason I put Leicester above Spurs is because they won the league. Simple as that. Spurs haven't won a trophy.
If this is my thing as well, like
they've not won the trophy since 2000.
How we factor in history though, because like for me personally, look, 20 years is a long time. So the year 2000 was a long time ago. Like, let's not say it's recency and all of that. Like 20 years, like when people are saying Man United won the league in 98, 85, come on, like let's talk about our lifetime because that's what history is, and we're all quite senior citizens. We're getting to that age. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but the point is, 20 years is a nice little chunk of period where enough time to rebuild, enough time to do what you need to do, enough time to put your finances to know how big of a club you are. And let's think about it. In the 20 years, Arsenal had the early 20s, and after that they petered out. Man United have a good chunk of that. Man City have a good chunk of that. Chelsea have a good chunk of that. I wouldn't even say Liverpool have a good chunk of that yet because they were terrible for a long time before the last 3 years. Do you know what I'm saying? So
they did have that. Yeah, they had that Champions League though in like what?
Yeah, they had the Champions League. They had the UEFA Cup as well with Rafa. Was it Rafa Benitez that one? Yeah, Gerard Houllier. Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say yeah.
So like, I just think that if we're being harsh, there's really three big teams in the league. Like when we're talking about creme de la creme,
because you know
the Manchester clubs and Chelsea. If we're being harsh,
Liverpool fans would be like,
Liverpool. Let's. If you take Rafa Benitez second place finish when he had Torres from 2007, I believe that was when it happened, 2007-8 season, to about 2015, 16, 17, Liverpool were horrendous. Brendan Rodgers overachieved, as in like massively overachieved with that team. So Liverpool were horrendous, as in Jay Spearing and flipping Kyrgios at the back. Like they had terrible players.
Like and that's what I mean. I feel like the six has definitely been made to accommodate certain teams. I feel like if a team like say West Ham or Leicester or flipping Leeds got a super big buyout like Man City and was up there. Yeah, like anyone, like any of them clubs.
West Ham can get
but that's what I'm saying. If they got a big Newcastle, right? West Ham, Newcastle, Leeds, whatever. If we got Saudi money, right, and start winning the league and dominating like Man City, I feel like Sky and them would start talking about top 7. And I think they'd say make a top 7 just to accommodate.
It's true.
It's gonna keep going on like that.
It was top 4 for how long, and then they just chucked Spurs under Poch, obviously, because that deserves under Poch, and then the top 7,
and then Man City as well. Obviously, they had to accommodate Man City.
I can guarantee you, until a new generation, until our kids, start creating their own podcasts and start analyzing history and stuff like that, Tottenham and Arsenal won't be involved in discussions if they don't have league titles.
I'm just gonna say this now. Lawless's kids are gonna be like, well, we finished above you in 2021. Daniel's gonna be like, yeah, but who cares about 20 years? My dad was on the podcast then.
They're gonna be looking back at all the league titles we've won, obviously.
Come on,
you hammers.
That legend Jesse Lingard,
Where's Sam legend Jesse Lingard? Yes, the drums.
Absolute class. But listen, we're going to finish on the score predictions. I'm a bit pissed because I've swapped Richarlison out for obviously Dominic Calvert-Lewin because
are they still winning?
Yeah, but it's still 1-0. Obviously, I'm not updated. I was planning on updating, but still 1-0 to Everton against Southampton for everyone that cares about that Richarlison scoring in the 9th minute. Anyways, let's do a couple of score predictions to finish off. Only got a couple of games down. I haven't got the West Ham one, so obviously, Lawless, you can let me know you got. I forgot who you're playing actually.
Leeds.
Midweek. Oh, Leeds. Okay.
Oh, not midweek. We're playing on Monday.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I've got the midweek games. I'm gonna kind of skirt over them apart from the big one.
Who's playing
the weekend one? So, Liverpool against Chelsea. That's the biggest.
Wait, we're playing Liverpool. Oh my God!
Do you not know?
Did you not know that? You know what? I thought Liverpool was next. Oh, it got moved. I forgot. It was supposed to be the end of March.
It's definitely you don't know about you.
No, it was supposed to be the end of March. It was supposed to be the end of March. I get the emails, man. Come on, man.
All right, sorry. Manchester is a real fan of that. But anyways, what do we reckon? Daniel, will come to you first and foremost. I think you're Anfield, if I'm not wrong.
We're charity FC, man. When a team needs a win at their home, we give them that win.
We got 1-1 in the chat. Would you take that? Obviously, you wouldn't.
1,000. I'll take a point. Like, we need a point in that. People are saying it's a must-win game. I personally don't believe it's must-win. There are bigger fish to fry in the future.
But for me personally, if you draw, I'll be absolutely buzzing. Right? So, what score are you going for, though? So you said you take a draw, but what's the score you're going for?
What result do you want? The fan in me or realistic?
Just be real with me, and just be real with me.
We're gonna lose, man. I think that would be Tuchel's first loss.
Despite their bad record at Anfield.
1,000. That does not matter. That does not matter.
1 second. So if you think you're gonna lose, how are you gonna be in the top 4 this time next week? What's going on?
You said that. I said we were gonna be in the top 4 like this week, but we're not. But I didn't say we're going to be in the top 4 next week. Actually, do you know what? This podcast comes out on Monday. Wait. 1 sec. Wait, 1 sec. Are we playing? There's games on the weekend as well, right?
Yeah. Just double checking. There's a game on Monday. Oh no, there's not actually. Oh, you're playing
Saturday.
You're both playing on Monday.
Oh, Chelsea and West Ham are both playing on Monday, yeah?
Yeah, so we might have to move the show. Actually, I don't know what to do, by the way. We'll work out.
Who are we playing on Monday and who are West Ham playing on Monday?
You've got Everton on Monday and the West Ham have got Leeds on Monday.
Everton at home. I'm confident about that one though. But
so we're gonna have to do the show on a different day, obviously, because we can't flip into it.
Yeah.
So we'll work it out. Maybe Wednesday or something. We'll sort something out. In fact, no, I think Man United play Wednesday. Are we?
We do play Wednesday.
No. Is it?
This Wednesday. This Wednesday. Yep.
No, not next Wednesday. No.
Next Wednesday.
Liverpool,
No.
Yeah. We'll sort it out.
Man City, Southampton.
Discussing this on the show. We'll sort it out later. Daniel, what's the score prediction then?
Chelsea 2-1. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm gonna go 1-1.
1-1. Okay, that's a good result for most teams. Okay, what do you say?
2-0 Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool. Lawless, what you saying?
I did a lot of predictions on that Never a Foul podcast yesterday, so I'm trying to be consistent, and I believe I said 1-1. That is the result that best suits West Ham. A 1-1 draw between Liverpool.
Not if you lose to Leeds. Because that puts us in the top 4.
No, yeah, but listen, you could just hold that temporary. We'll put you in the top 4 until we come and play our game. You keep it warm for us. You keep it warm, and we'll come and take our spot.
I love this because
on Monday.
We're not doing when it comes to the end of the season, and West Ham aren't in the top 4. We're not doing no West Ham are a small club. We're going at you, Dad. We're coming at
you. I'm forever blowing bubbles.
Kojo, Usmaan's trying to speak,
bubbles.
All right, anyways, yes, I was saying we'll do the show on Wednesday. Start means you would have played obviously twice. You would have lost 2 twice by the time we come back to it. Anyways, I'm going to say 2-1 Liverpool, which means they'll be in 6th come the next show. Not actually involved, but it is what it is.
Usmaan, you're going with Liverpool. That's so bad of you. That's so bad.
It is what it is, and I don't like the scum. I was spotting you lot about it, just so you know, innit? But anyways, it is what it is. Moving on, Arsenal against Burnley. KL, we'll come to you first and foremost. What are your thoughts, bro?
I don't know. I'm gonna go optimistic. 1-0 Arsenal.
That's optimistic.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cody, what do you reckon?
4-0 Arsenal.
All right. Okay, that is optimistic. Lawless, what are you saying?
1-0. I'm gonna say another 1-0 draw. It's gonna be big. Sean Dyche, parking the bus. Arteta parking the bus.
You never know.
The battle of the buses. It's the battle of the buses.
It actually is the battle of the buses.
Oh my God, you'd love to see it. Right, Daniel, what are you saying?
Arsenal will win 3-0. Saka and Aubameyang come back into the lineup as well, so they'll win, man. They'll win.
No, what, Coach? I completely forgot who we're playing on the weekend. We've got
Man City.
Man City.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we're gonna be in top 4. Fucking hell,
so what we're gonna do, bro? I think what I would suggest is that we just do a prediction for Crystal Palace and forget about that game because it's gonna be peak if we talk about that game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Man United take out Crystal Palace.
If you don't beat Crystal Palace, you guys are in trouble. By the way, Just saying.
Are we not in trouble already?
You focus on being your own. You focus on your own defense.
Thank you. I triggered him. I got him. Yes.
You focus on the Merseyside team because you might be in 8th in Arsenal after them 2 games, innit? But we'll see what I'm going. We'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know who driving this day. Flipping on Arsenal 3-0 Arsenal light work. It should be walking, but that bus is getting scrap metal. But yeah, let's go on to we're gonna have to do Man United, Man City, innit? We have to, innit? Because forget the Crystal Palace one. I can't be honest with it. Colin, we'll come to you first and foremost. What do you reckon?
Is this Man City you asked me about?
Yeah, Man City.
Yeah, 3-0 City.
Okay. Daniel. Yeah, in fact, go on, Daniel. What do you reckon?
Jeez, Derby, man, and you're just coming on.
Is this
I have
City
zero
United?
confidence, bro. I have zero confidence.
Another Palace one. I can't be honest.
I have zero confidence, bro. If we win this game, yeah, I might come onto the show topless. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Listen, and I want you to write Ollie in on your chest, yeah?
Yeah. Chill.
Yes, Colin, come on, you've got to back it up. You said 3-0 City, man. Why are you bottling it for?
They're not gonna. If you don't do that, they're gonna lose. It will be on your head. It will be on your head.
Oh shit, Daniel, what do you reckon? Man City at home.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a City win, man. Do you know what? But it won't be like 4-0, and it'll be 2-1. Be a tight game.
Okay,
fair enough. Lawless, what do you reckon, bro?
It's gonna be 2-0 Manchester.
Honestly, I'm not even chatting shit. I think we might win. Like, I'm not even bantering you because
someone's got to predict it.
No, it's not even that. Every time we played against them of late, Ollie seems to be doing well for whatever reason. So,
if you're the first team to beat him after this run, I'm telling you, Ollie needs some big props.
I'm gonna get violated. It is what it is. Yeah. But listen, 2-1 Manchester United. I'm gonna back the boys. And obviously, the last 2 games prior to our show, Chelsea, Everton. Daniel, we'll come to you first and foremost. Monday night special. What are you saying?
Come on, I have to put my neck on the line. We're gonna win that game. I think we'll win that. That's the. It needs to be a Tuchel game performance, man. So I want a 3-1 win. 3-1 win.
Ooh, Lawless, what are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, again, I probably would prefer a draw, but like if asking me, I prefer. I don't want either team picking up too many points, but I have to be real. I have to say, Chelsea win it 3-0.
Oh wow!
Like,
okay.
Everton. You know, have them performances in them where they'll just get a little bit too ahead of themselves and then they'll go and get slapped. So.
All right, fair enough. Kale, what are you saying?
3-1 Everton. Dominic Calvert-Lewin hat.
3-1 Everton. You're drunk. That is not happening. Unless we get a red card, that is not happening.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin's going to show up your defender, bro.
If that happens, clip Daniel's little thing right there.
1000%. You know me, when it comes to the clip and stuff, I have to be 100%.
Lawless, there'll be 8 then. This month will actually be 8. None of this top 4 shit with you. But Cody, what are you saying, bro?
Going to go 2-1 Everton.
Wow, I'm so tempted to go out.
My Hammers, I'm saying my Hammers as well now. I'm back in the vibe, innit? My Hammers finishing top 4, do you know what I'm saying?
It's my Hammers till West Ham are 2 points behind you and have to play you.
It's so good.
My Hammers, isn't it? My Hammers.
Have you played them twice already?
Yeah.
No, we got to play you. No, we
Old Trafford.
It's not Pogba scoring another goal and it's so good.
We can't. Jay Lingard can't play either, so.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna have to play Yarmolenko if he's off from NHS. But anyways, I'm gonna go 2-1 Chelsea because I think Chelsea just have enough. Last game, West Ham Leeds. I'm gonna kick this one off. I'm gonna say 3-2 to West Ham. It's gonna have goals. Daniel, what do you reckon?
Let's go, Marco Bielsa, Coach of the Year. Let's go. Do you know what? I think West Ham will win the game, though. I think West Ham will win.
So how are you going to be above them in top 4 if you think they're going to win this game?
I never said. When did I say that we were going to be in top 4 next week? Did I say that? I didn't say that. We will be in top 4 the week after when West Ham play. I've forgotten who they play, but got a tougher team, tougher test.
Okay. Wait. I need to see who this tougher team is, right? And see if it is literally
It's Arsenal. It's Arsenal.
It's Man United.
Man United. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. I want to see you guys say West Ham are going to win that game now, United fans.
I just said my team's going to lose 3-0. You think I won't say it? Mav, let's go.
I was enjoying this. So we'll speak about it on Wednesday. Lawless, we're going to have to start a preview for that. I completely forgot last time. Right, anyways, Lawless, have you given your score prediction? What do you reckon against Leeds?
Yeah, I'm going to say 3-1 West Ham. I'll say it there. We'll tear their defense to pieces.
Wait, just a quick question: do Leeds have a 0-0 this season?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I guess Arsenal.
But that game shouldn't have been 0-0.
Oh yeah, that was when Arsenal was like clinging.
They were getting battered. Yeah. Even with 11 men, they were getting battered.
I swear the crossbar got man in the match.
Their fans said it was progress. Normally with 10 men, they'd lose
they would have lost.
So it was progress, don't forget.
Trust the process.
Gil, you reckon you need a West Ham winning it? Because obviously you go back into 11th if Leeds win.
Yeah, come on. We'll do it for you. Don't worry, Cahill. We'll do it for you, mate.
I'm saying 4-3 Leeds.
Yes,
let's go, Cahill.
You know what? Every time people predict these big score lines for Leeds games, it ends up being like a 1-0 or something. Every time people think
Links, man, don't worry, man. He's got this. And Cold, last but not least, what you saying, bro?
I'll go 2-1 West Ham. Bamford, normal consolation. Antonio and Jay Links to do the job.
Jeez, Jay Links causing a man. We got 4-1 West Ham. Jay Links hat-trick. Oh, God.
Do you know what? I'd rather he just scored one to help us win the game. I don't want too many more zeros added to his price tag or anything like that.
I hope
if he gets that hat-trick. Let's just take it easy, Lingard.
Lingard, put as many zeros as you can, man. Hopefully you can get 60 million off him, innit? Anyways, listen, as we said, massive thank you to our panel. It's gone way over what we scheduled, but it is what it is. As always, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Everyone's links to their channels are down below. Obviously, go show love to them. Hit the link. Obviously, subscribe to them. I know Kodra's done a show with Kale just prior to this as well. So go and check that out as well. Obviously, I'm sure the boys have got enough content for you coming. We will be back next Wednesday, as we've already discussed on the channel. By then, obviously, Chelsea probably 8, so it should be a good laugh to obviously take the piss at Daniel. But anyways, it's been your boy, Usmaan. We'll see you soon. Peace.